We are recording.
All right, everybody, welcome to Monday night, Goal Getters Team Huddle. It is Monday, April 16th, and we are going to jump right in. We're having, a little bit of a short huddle today because the coach leadership call or coach training call went a little bit over, possibly still going, but that's okay tonight. And we're going to jump right in. Dossie is going to be sharing a takeaway from tonight's call. So let's jump right in with that.
Okay. I have 3 pages of notes, and I figured I'd have to work hard to find a takeaway, and there's 1.5 million things that I could share. But I think I found the takeaway that works for me, and I hope that it works for other people. It's actually from Brandon and Wesley Biggers, from the last couple who I watched. I know there was another couple who presented after, but I jumped out and came here. And they said what people say again and again. They said, follow everyone else, do the work. We didn't do anything new. We followed our mentorship. We followed our leadership. But then they said something else that hit with me even more, because I totally agree that that's right, but it doesn't always mesh with me 100%. And then they said, follow everyone else, do the work. And then they said, but find the heart in your business and figure out, what do your posts look like and sound like? And I think that's the key for me, and I hope it is for other people too, that while you're following your mentorship and your leadership and the amazing structure that's been built already by the people who all came before, who did all that time, you also have to find a way to put yourself into it. And it has to be that it has to look and sound like it's coming from you. And so I think part of that is that everybody has something that makes them different and makes them unique, and that has to come through also, while you're being duplicatable and while you're repeating what other people say, put yourself into it. When people see that it comes from you, they're going to want to share it because they love you and they know you, and this is you. The other quick thing I noticed, which was not something anybody said, was the contrast between the 2 new integrated presidential directors that spoke at the beginning, Whitney Kell and then Pat and Karen Schatzline. And Whitney has been working for Optavia for 16 years and became presidential just recently. And Pat and Karen have been working in Optavia for 2 years and became presidential recently. And that kind of hit me that everybody has their own trajectory and their own path. And it's nice when it happens quickly, but if it doesn't happen quickly, don't give up and keep going, because it can happen, and it happens in the right time, I guess.
As the Schatzline said, live between amen, and there it is. I wrote that down.
I have that too, whether it takes 2 years or 16 or somewhere in the middle.
I love that so much. I love that it's such a simple thing to point out, and it's got so much meaning behind it.
It made a big impression on me, even though it wasn't something somebody said.
Exactly.
Just the idea that, there's no set, you don't run out of time.
Nice.
If it doesn't happen right away, keep working at it. It'll happen.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, I didn't introduce myself at the beginning. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Melinda, and I am running tonight's call. So we're going to jump into the next part, which is we're going to talk a little bit about Go Global. Go Global happened this weekend in Orlando. Did everybody see what was going on if you weren't there? Pictures, we were all posting. I know there was probably a little bit of FOMO, and hopefully that can give everybody, a lot of excitement that you're going to want to come to National Convention, which is in, where is it? St. Louis?
In July.
In July. It's actually
the date, but I posted the link in Goal Getters so you can all register.
Perfect. It is an event for coaches and clients at any rank. Again, it's for clients too. So you can all
for non-clients. We had people who were potential clients that came last summer.
Can I just interrupt? I know we're on a tight thing. Somebody came to National Convention last year, not even a client. Today is April 16th. She just bought her first client and coach kit today. So she came to National Convention last year in July, and she just became a client today, and she got her coaching kit. So Plant the seeds.
I love that. And it is an incredible event. And when you see all the pictures, and we're posting from Go Global, it is just so much bigger when you come to National Convention. So everybody should be there. It is worth it for everyone to be there. I'll be there. I know a bunch of coaches on this call will be there too and have already registered. So if you have any questions, reach out to us, reach out to your coach, and find out more information. And we'll be able to share that. So a little bit about Go Global. The event is for anyone who's ED and above. And it was in Orlando this year, which was so cool. And it's really an incredible event, not only where you can be with like-minded people, just like we're doing here, but it's also about learning and how to grow our businesses. And that really takes us into the next step of this call, which we're going to jump right into, and that's takeaways. We took so many notes over the weekend and want to share a million things with you guys. So what we're going to do tonight is that the people who are at the event, who are on the call now, are going to share each of us a takeaway. And then what we're going to do is over the next, 8 weeks, how many of us were, 8 of us were there, we're going to pick a different topic for every week to discuss from our takeaways. So this is going to be a little bit of a, we're going to whet your appetite a little bit, pun intended. And then we're going to focus on each of the topics going forward. And it's going to be, and we just, again, there are just so many notes, pages and pages, spilled my tea all over it, but I saved it. We're okay. So I'm going to jump right in with Alana. Alana, there you are, Alana Berlin, if you want to unmute and share your takeaway.
Oh, of course. I'm so excited. You guys, this was amazing. I can't even tell you, and I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, but basically I'm going to talk about one concept, which is that I learned, or takeaway, which is the importance of saying no and the importance of time management. Both things which I struggle with a lot. And I went to this amazing workshop on time management. And that's actually going to be something that I think we should devote a whole session to. But basically, just to give a little bit, a tidbit here, Kevin Tinter, who is the presenter, said our why has become our excuse. When we think about some of us, why we started coaching, for many of us, it was to provide a better life for our family. But far too often, we find ourselves crazy busy with our kids, and we get overwhelmed with day-to-day small tasks, and we can't get things done. And we say we want to do things, and we say we want to do the 3-3-3, but it doesn't happen. And it doesn't have to be this way, because it's okay to say no. And sometimes we have to say no to the good so we can say yes to the great. So that really stuck with me, that quote. So it's important to invest in your business and your future by buying time. What I mean by that is asking others to do jobs that don't necessarily require you to do them. So delegate responsibilities to other people, and say yes to things that are more important that can benefit your business and growth. Before Go Global, I had client check-in calls 6 out of 7 days of the week. And now since coming back from Go Global, I said, that's it. I'm going to condense my client calls. I'm going to get them all on 1 to 2 days. So it's going to free me up to do health assessments, help my coaches, other things like that. I used to make myself available 24/7 pretty much. And I booked up all of my evenings with client calls, and I was losing sight of my why, and I was losing precious time with my family. And not only is that not duplicatable, and someone else is going to talk about the importance of being duplicatable, but it's most definitely not necessary to be successful. So I'm going to give you a lot of other tips about managing your time and how to better, more efficiently manage your time in another week. But that's all I have for right now. Thanks.
Oh, that was awesome, Alana. Jackie and Leslie, I can't remember which one of you were going to go first. Okay, Jackie, go for it.
I'll go first. So Becca Tinzer, Kevin's wife, she presented and she gave an awesome theory, which I'm not going to go all into the teddy bear Melinda, but I'm just going to paint the picture like briefly because we're really running late about the concept of, there's 3 people and they're all doing the same exact thing, and you ask them, what are you doing? So one guy says, I'm laying bricks down. The next guy you say, what are you doing today? He says, I'm building a wall. And then you ask a third person, what are you doing? And he says, I'm making a beautiful cathedral. And, they're all doing the same exact steps, just at different levels, and they're how they see the bigger picture. But the bottom line is every single person is laying those bricks down. And we all need to start from the basics, and we have to learn what we need to know just in time, not just in case, right? Everyone should be learning from Optavia Learn, where they're at and their level. Go back to the training videos. Make sure you're doing the basics. and sticking to the bottom line, because that's what's really going to grow your business. So she said, make sure you know how to lay your own bricks, so you know how to teach people to build a wall, and you will have a beautiful cathedral. So if everyone starts from the beginning and teaches people how to build from that, we're all going to be doing the same thing, which Leslie will be talking about. But I love that concept. I thought it was amazing. You know, we don't have to recreate the wheel. Everything is in Coach Answers, Activate Learn. Everyone should be on that leadership call, because really the company is just handing over to us a business on a silver platter, and they're just telling us to duplicate it. So go ahead, Leslie.
So on that note, this duplication was a big thing for me. This was, you all know I went on the FIBC trip back in February, and I heard this a lot there about everything is set, the system to be duplicated. And again, this was being repeated. Optavia has done an amazing job over the last, since July, since we started the switchover, of really giving us these amazing systems to follow and to make this an easy business to come into. And they're going to be continuing to roll things out. The new Habits of Health 2.0 that's coming out this summer is going to have even more systems in there, exactly how to coach and what steps to do. And the coach manual is going to go alongside of the client manual. But the real key to all of this is follow the system, because everything that you're doing, whether it's you're following your program, following your coaching, the people that you're training are going to be doing the exact same thing that you're doing. So if you're not doing it right, you're going to pass those not right things on to people. So one of the things, the conversation that I had a lot with people this weekend was, if something came up, we would stop and say, is this duplicatable? Is what I'm doing something that the next person that I'm training can do? Am I working all kinds of crazy hours and, answering texts at midnight? Is that something that I want to train my coaches or my clients to be okay? Probably not. So set those boundaries and set things that are duplicatable for other people, because that's what you're going to pass on. Those are the trends that you're going to pass on. And follow the system. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. There's no reason to reinvent the health assessment or the celebration calls. We have those scripts. We have all of those pieces. And if you follow it, it works, and you will have these amazing businesses. The people that are most successful business-wise are the ones that are doing that. So who's next?
Let's go with Francie. Francie, you up next? You want to unmute?
Hi. Can you hear me? Because you were freezing.
Yeah, we can hear
me.
Yeah.
So I guess what I took away was really looking at each person as a potential coach, really looking for coaches. And what I thought, I had an idea in my mind what a coach would be, but really just blowing that up, because I don't know, someone might want to be a coach. You don't know how someone looks from the outside. It might look like they have no financial worries, yet they do, but we don't know that. So really, everyone, I'm looking at most people now as a potential coach. It could be, I don't know if you have financial issues or you want to help other people, but offering coaching to everyone. I think you asked me to tell that story. What happened was, I was in the room while they were at the end of the convention. There was a big party going on. I was in the other room on the phone, and a worker who was there stacking the chairs, who must have heard the whole convention that night, and he came up to me and he said, "What is this Optavia?" So we were talking about his health, and he wasn't looking to get healthy, but so then I asked if he had any friends or family, and he said maybe, and he needed my card. Well, my card was upstairs, so I went all the way up to the room, and when I was walking back, and it hit me, how you get one of those, here, he could be a coach. Why was I just asking for friends or family that he might want to get healthy? But this guy can be a coach. He's stacking chairs. He's cleaning the room. He must want, and he runs, and he is healthy. So I said to him, talking about coaching, and he said he would be interested in finding out more. And he asked how much does it cost to get into. And so then I sent him a video, and it was just like, people are right in front of my face. Here we have a whole hotel full of people who had been around all the coaches who are very positive and energetic. And it's almost like talking to almost anyone that could possibly be a coach, right? Not to rule anyone out. So that was a big takeaway, looking at people differently for coaching opportunities.
Thank you, Francie. It's funny, everybody says we say one of every 5 clients is a coach, but really, why aren't they all coaches, right? They all have the potential to be coaches. Let's go into Karen next.
I had lots of takeaways, some of which have already been spoken about. And I'll wait until Francie's week to present to add, because I was going to talk about more as well about finding coaches and how to do that, and that it takes a mind shift. But to give you something else, I was in a session that was skills for masterful coaching, and it really kind of went back to some of the basics of how to be a good coach. And it connects to all of these things that have been said, because in order to be duplicatable and in order to be looking for new coaches, you need to be a good coach yourself. And so, again, a lot of these things were things I had heard before, but it was just hearing them in this way and really thinking about it. One of the big things that was said, they talked about taking responsibility and playing above the line, living above the line, and really paying attention to how you feel. When you feel good about something and you want to do more of it, you're above the line. If you have that yucky feeling, you're below the line, and you need to kind of reevaluate what you're doing. They also talked about how to use questioning, which we've talked a little bit about on some of our calls here before, and how to use questioning and really holding up a mirror to help someone really evaluate what they're doing and help them identify, instead of you just telling them, really asking questions and having them figure it out, helping them to figure it out on their own. And the whole idea of empowering versus enabling, and doing things in a non-judgmental way. And the theme was continually like building that rapport with people. And I really felt like all of these things, while the focus of this particular session was on coaching your clients, it also would apply to coaching coaches, and how you're working with each other on a regular basis. So there are a lot of great takeaways that I can share in the future.
And I look forward to you sharing them when we focus on the topic for Zoom. And we have Mark as well.
I had many takeaways. I've got pages and pages and pages. I filled up the whole book, and I put asterisks by the things that are important. Every one of the things the people here have said is important, but I've got many others, but I don't want to talk about any of those. I want to talk about the way it felt to be there. I've been involved with Optavia for a year, almost 2 years, whatever it's been, a year and 9 months, however long it's been, and I've heard everybody's gone to events, and they've come back and they've told everybody how great these events were and how amazing it was and how they felt the energy and how it helped change them, propel them in their business, and propel them as an individual. And I experienced that. And I think that was the greatest part of this for me was 2 things. Number one, meeting the people, all you guys on the Zoom and all the other people that I've seen on all these other Zooms I've seen present. I met them. I saw them face to face. I talked to them. I shook their hand. I asked them questions. It was an amazing experience that you can't explain. Nobody who hadn't been to one of these events can understand it. So I've got a couple people on this call who haven't been to this event, and I'm going to be encouraging them every minute I can to come to the convention this summer and to come to every event, because there's something about it that will make you a better person and will make you better able to help yourself and to help others. So I enjoy being there. I'm happy to be part of this group, and I love everybody here. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I agree, by the way. I mean, just everything you said was so right on. And it's so fun seeing everybody here because we talk every week. So to get to see everybody face to face and give everyone hugs, it's nothing like it. I'll end, actually, we have 1 minute, so I'm going to really respect that 1 minute, and we're just going to jump in to structural tension, which is something that we will definitely be devoting an entire Zoom to. But the thing that's really important is we always talk about the why we're doing something, right? It's where you are now and where you want to be. And that's your why. And what you put in the middle, this is how you get there. And the stronger that is, the easier it is to get to your why, and the more likely you are to get there. These bands, I have them all over the place. These really represent structural tension right here. And one thing that I realized at convention is it's not something we just do because we're on plan and we're getting healthy, but it's also something we do as coaches, because we all started as coaches for a reason. And it's something that I started thinking about that I actually want to talk to all of my coaches about. It's something I would recommend for everybody here to do for yourself and for those who have coaches and for future coaches, is to make sure that you know why you became a coach, first and foremost. And like Alana said, to always remember that, so that when you're saying yes to things and saying no to things and being duplicatable and all the things that we talked about tonight, that you're doing it because you know why you became a coach. And that's the structural tension. I mean, we'll focus on it more another time because it's 9:00, but I really wanted to bring that up at the end, because that why, just like when you're getting healthy on a plan, that why as a coach is just as important. And it's what's going to bring you onto these calls and the coach calls and to convention, because the reason you became a coach is why you want to remain a coach and do the work every single day, the 3, 3, and 3, and all the things that get us where we want to be. So that's what we got for tonight. I definitely feel like this is a call that we want to make sure everybody sees and everybody's sharing. And I hope to see everybody at National Convention. Obviously, we'll keep seeing each other here, and next year at Go Global. Have a good night, guys.
Night.